I am Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman trying to kill herself. She says, "I don't know why I tried to do this," and by way of explanation tells her life story. We're about halfway through book 3. Working title is Shiny Pretty Gothic. Last week in Shiny Pretty Gothic, 2 weeks prior, Ava, Lisa, and Elizabeth left the Rainbow Gathering riding with a boy quitting the Hare Krishnas and a deceptively kind trucker. This is a continuation of the chapter called Are We Not Lisa? After showers, we head for the tourist area. Only 15 minutes away, the man at the desk says. He's almost right. We're after the most incredible sandwiches we'll ever eat, or so we've been told. In the outdoor area of storefronts and boardwalks, circling a covered wooden platform with tables and seating for people to rest, not hungry so much as desperate for energy, and I don't know. My shower didn't remove the feeling of that old man's hand. I wolfed down a muffaletta, a flat, round loaf of bread cut in half and filled with a 3-inch stack of cold cuts. It's definitely incredible in size and decadence. About halfway through, I abruptly stop, slump over the table, and push it away. Elizabeth chuckles. Done? I nod, sweat rolling down every inch of my body. Showering is pointless in this soup. Here's a possibility, says Lisa, pointing to an ad in the Times-Picayune. Lisa thinks we should rent an apartment for the week. It'll be cheaper than a hotel, she says. I eye the clothes strewn across the floor and the unmade bed with the People magazine open on the pillow. Just move the stuff out of the way, says the woman, seeing my gaze. It is blissfully air-conditioned in here, and there's way more space than in a hotel room, not to mention the price. What kind of person lets tourists live in their apartment while they're gone, and why is this woman so harried, though? She says she lives next door, looks after the guy's place when he's out of town. We hand over the week's rent. Great, she says. Meet me here tomorrow at 2. I'll make you guys a set of keys. Then we go for drinks. Hurricanes, right? The waiter smiles. We look at each other and laugh. What's that? Lisa asks. Oh, you can't come here and not have a hurricane, the waiter teases. It's the drink New Orleans is famous for. What's in it? I ask. 2 shots of rum and a whole lot of grenadine. 4 of these later, I stare woozily at Elizabeth and Lisa. The cocktails come in stemmed glasses, fat on the bottom, thinner in the middle, and fat again at the top, garnished with fruit and umbrellas. I never order drinks like these. Elizabeth and Lisa are on their 4th hurricanes too. I feel so normal, surrounded by middle-class looking tourists drinking. Alcohol is forbidden at Rainbow unless you go to alcohol camp, where the knife and gun incident happened. I'm back in normal land, and to be honest, no. I like the alcohol, but feel like a tourist among the tourists, even among Elizabeth and Lisa. A pang of fear. I'm drunk, barely know these 2 women/girls, hundreds of miles from home and any help if I need it. My surroundings come into super sharp focus all at once. The flip-flops of the man at the next table, the hair on his legs, his thighs compressed in bright blue shorts. The woman he's with, shiny, deep tanned face, dry blonde hair, and the spiral plastic bracelet holding a key on her wrist. The voices, so many of them, all at the same volume and brightness, forks scraping against plates, chairs dragging across floors, Barry Manilow crooning from the overhead speakers. I turn and see Elizabeth's profile, her slightly aquiline nose with the plastic tables with large umbrellas, customers in the same thin, fat glasses of hurricane on every table. I tilt to Lisa, her button nose and constant, knowing smirk, scanning through my glasses, then backing up into my head. Hundreds of miles from home and any help if I need it. Breakfast, says Lisa. Not for me, I say, forcing a smile. My brain, I think I'm so dehydrated that my brain fluids are too thick to flow. I take some aspirin. Sick or not, I pack my backpack. Elizabeth looks a little gray too, but Lisa seems fine. We head out. There are a few hours to kill before we meet the woman for the apartment keys. At a cafe in the French Quarter, I nibble a donut and drink an iced cafe au lait. Well, it was ice when it came over the counter. By the time I drink it, it's merely cold, quickly approaching lukewarm. Sweat pours down me again. What is it with this place? An hour after showering and my clothes are drenched. It's like the air liquefies when it hits your skin. It's like the air is full of water or is a cloud, but the cloud is more like a hot lake. We walk, passing a huge black man sitting on a stool on the sidewalk, just sitting. He's not begging, he's not busking. His eyes swivel to watch us pass, but his body remains immovable, cast in stone, wet stone. I wouldn't want to live in New Orleans. I recall the sticky, cloying emotions and violence of Tennessee Williams plays. People's moods become wet, lazy, heavy, like the climate. Northerners like Elizabeth and I are cold and insulated in comparison. Overwhelmed with the desire to lie down on the street, I realized that even then, the air would drown me. I want to leave, to be honest. The aspirins I took earlier have already stopped working. We head to the apartment, get our keys, and go in. I push the clothes off the unmade bed, fall onto it, and pass out, sleep through the night. When I wake up, Lisa has gone out. Elizabeth is reading the People magazine. My relationship with Elizabeth is not going anywhere. She doesn't talk much, neither do I, but she's confident. Well, I'm not. I wouldn't be doing this hitchhiking without her. Would she be doing it without me? Anyway, we're together now for this pivotal young person's hitchhiking around the States. It's not pivotal, it's like a young person doing the European tour, the thing all young people do, the rich ones anyway, that launches them. No, it doesn't launch them. You do Europe if you're rich, it's the States if you're not, or if you want to escape your rich upbringing or rebel. Coming of age journey, the grand tour, that's it. A rite of passage. We're doing this rite of passage, the poor man's, or the beatniks. We're Tom Collins' electric Kool-Aid acid tests, hitchhiking teenage girls. Footnote 1. I mean, I know we're not teenagers. Elizabeth and I decide to go out, do more sightseeing. We head to the Strip, a packed pedestrian-only tourist destination where every block or so you see a lemonade-type stand that sells beer and other alcoholic beverages. I can't believe it. Bars line each side of the promenade, some closing at 7 a.m. and others opening then. You can drink in a bar 24 hours. What a place. I've never, whoa. Is that several feet ahead of us, alone, wearing a shirt-type dress that stops just below her butt, moving with a slow, exaggerated push of her hips, left to right to left. Lisa. I nudge Elizabeth in motion with my head. Watch Elizabeth's eyes grow large when she recognizes the serpentine figure ahead of us. We step back to the sidewalk in case Lisa turns around. Whoa, I say to Elizabeth when she looks at me. She smiles in her non-committal way and says, I guess she's looking for a boyfriend. And the footnote is there a version of sick for factual errors? I don't know who wrote Electric Kool-Aid Test, but it wasn't Tom Collins. That's the name of a drink.